All righty, welcome to 13 News at noon this Monday. We're here with weather with Lindsay Monroe. And I wasn't sure if I was looking at haze or frost or fog. I was like, what's happening? It was condensation from the air conditioning, but it is like a haze out there.
It is, and we had some dense fog in some spots overnight and early this morning.
It was all of the above.
It really was.
Not
and that
frost.
Today is going to be one of the everything but frost for
frost.
today. We have some overcast skies that have already moved in, and we are anticipating it being an active afternoon, not only with the heat and the humidity, but also some of those storms that are brewing to our north, headed in our direction. And I'll tell you, it feels like a sauna out there right now. Even though we're not seeing a ton of sunshine, depending on where you are in the state, we're already up to 85, and we have a dew point temperature of 74. Keep in mind, we consider a dew point anything 70 or above miserable, tropical. We are already above that, and we are set to stay that way through the afternoon. I was putting together your muggy meter for today, and it's been a while since I've seen it actually off the charts when it comes to how humid it's going to be. We have forecast dew point temperatures that will climb 75 to 80, and we have already recorded dew point temperatures across the region up to 80 or above. So pretty brutal when it comes to how much moisture we have in the atmosphere. Our actual temperature is 85 over in Greencastle, but that heat index, when you factor in that moisture content, feels more like 100 already over in Terre Haute, and your maximum heat index likely to climb over 100 this afternoon in advance of those storms arriving. Now, everything quiet on the radar here locally, but we are focusing our attention just to our north, where we've seen a complex of storms bubble up down across southern portions of Wisconsin. Now, this whole system, this whole complex is going to track off to the south. We have several warnings associated with that, so you can see how this could potentially set up to be a pretty active afternoon. We've got a heat advisory in effect for most of central Indiana that runs through 9 p.m., but we also have that level 3 severe risk for most of the state. Coming up, we'll talk more about that latest timeline of scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to impact our area coming up through the evening.
Thank you, Lindsay. And on to our headlines. A father charged with the murder of his 3-month-old baby will stay in jail for the time being. Curtis Jenkins appeared in court for the first time this morning. He told the judge he plans to hire an attorney, according to court documents. Jenkins called 911 on July 18th, saying his child was unresponsive after being in a car without air conditioning. Doctors say they found multiple injuries, saying they were consistent with abuse. Jenkins will now be in court again on August 17th. And this afternoon, neighbors on the near north side say they've had enough with large gatherings at a short-term rental after someone shot a 15-year-old girl. And she was not the only teen girl involved in a shooting over the weekend. Another was hurt and a third arrested in 2 other shootings across Indy. Brandon Schaff takes us back to the first scene near 17th and Delaware.
For the second time in less than a year, violence at this property behind me, listed online as a short-term rental, neighbors voicing their frustrations after a 15-year-old girl was shot. Along North Delaware Saturday night, David Washburn heard a large group of people outside. He says at first, police were trying to clear the area, but later, around 11:30, he heard gunshots, followed by yelling, running, and more police.
It's concerning that violence like that or like a dangerous experience like that could happen so close to where I'm living.
Washburn says this is the second violent incident at this property after another shooting last December.
I know that other neighbors of mine or people on the street have sort of been unhappy with the house being used as a rental property and have tried in the past to petition against it.
Back to the crime on Saturday, IMPD says they found a 15-year-old girl shot. Medics took her to the hospital, where police say she was stable. No updates yet on how she's doing.
I didn't really hear a lot other than the gunshots, and I did see them put somebody in the ambulance. And it's become an unfortunate thing. And I don't know what you do about short-term rentals.
Gates has lived in this neighborhood since 1982. She wants better tracking of short-term rentals.
And I have some sympathy because my son did interns and he always had trouble finding somewhere to live because he was only there 2 months, 3 months. But these one-night parties have got 1-2 night rentals aren't particularly good.
Gates also wants more enforcement of the juvenile curfew to keep teens safe. On Indy's near north side, Brandon Schaff, 13 News.
And another shooting around 5 o'clock Sunday morning put another teen in the hospital. Metro Police believe someone shot the 17-year-old girl near North State and East Washington Street. She walked into IU Methodist for treatment. Officers say she is stable but did not share any other details on her condition or what led to the gunfire. And a 17-year-old girl is under arrest after another shooting put a man and a woman in the hospital. So that happened around 1:30 in the morning on Sunday near 34th and Central. Investigators say it appears two large groups were gathering near a church and an apartment building at the time. Metro Police adding that church leaders were not aware of a gathering in their parking lot. And it's been 9 years since Southport Police Lieutenant Aaron Allen was killed in the line of duty. Friends and family reflected on his legacy at his annual memorial blood drive. Lieutenant Allen was shot and killed in the line of duty on this day in 2017 while responding to a crash. Almost every year since, Southport PD has held a blood drive to support low blood supplies in the state. His father says for him, the people who come year after year to donate blood are a reflection of his son's legacy of service.
This isn't being reserved for IMPD, Marion County, ISP. No, this is a community donating back to the community in honor of a servant of that community.
Him getting emotional there. A judge found Jason Brown guilty of Allen's murder in 2022. He was sentenced to 58 years in prison. And this afternoon, IMPD is trying to find the mother of a newborn found abandoned in Indianapolis. Metro Police tell us the baby is in the hospital and in stable condition, but they don't know what happened to the mom or what led to this situation. Police say they found the newborn in the tree line near a trail in a Far East Side neighborhood near 38th and German Church. This was around 11:30 Friday night. Detectives are concerned about the mother, who may need medical attention. So they're asking anyone who knows what happened to get in touch with IMPD. A former linebacker for the Indianapolis Colts has been deported. According to ICE, Daniel Adongo was reported after overstaying his visa. Adongo is originally from Kenya. He played rugby in South Africa and New Zealand before joining the Colts from 2013 to 2015. He was arrested multiple times in the last 9 years for crimes including felony intimidation, battery, and disorderly conduct. A tweet from the Department of Homeland Security says he was deported after he broke our laws. It goes on to say, quote, "Our communities are safer now that this criminal is out of our country."